Hi, I'm Kevin Berrey. Welcome to my channel. This wonderful, flaming world, just vibrating with energy. I don't know if you saw that. That was the devil. Might have been a demon. Anyway, it was a spirit from the astral plane. And this is the kind of place that you can come to enjoy that sort of interaction. Welcome to my world.
Yo, is anybody out there? I hope so. We're counting down. Show's about to kick off. Life is about to get very live very soon. All right. I'm about to just pop in here. All right. All right, I think we're just going to kick this off. There's no need to wait. Yeah, let's do this. Hey, welcome to KEVID19 episode 1. Oh, brother, beyond a reasonable bout. I've got some fun stuff that I'm going to bring out. I'm going to trot out. I don't know exactly what happened there. We're going to stop that. And thank you for being here. It is awesome. Oh man, I have something I want to share with you. I went for a walk, not the first time ever, but one of the first times in a while, and I discovered. Have you been outside? Has anyone been out? Have you been out there? Have you been out into the wilderness? I haven't wandered out enough due to this pandemic. Do I even have to say that? I don't think so. I am here on, I'm on Facebook, a place that I thought I was not going to be on again, not in this frequency, at this power, but it's simply where all my friends are. And by friends, I mean people that I probably haven't talked to for decades. But if you stumble onto this, what's up? It's been a long time. Maybe I haven't seen you since high school. You look great. I wish I had a dog like yours. Okay, let's just take a peek at something that I happened upon earlier. I want to share this with you folks. Where we let's see here if we can just. Yorkers, I think all right, New Yorkers. I think I found my next apartment. It has a swing. We'll have to test this. It doesn't seem that strong. I did test the swing. Space, so built-in fireplace. Built-in fireplace. And check this out. It's a nice, cozy little one-bedroom. That's not a one-bedroom. That is a studio. Just to be clear. Let's see if we can go back in here. Yeah, this is. Don't let anyone tell you that this is a one-bedroom, and don't let them tell you that it's got great light. I mean, it does have pretty good, natural light, but I think this could be the. It could. I was thinking maybe this is the spot. Like if something goes down, and I gotta shack up, I think this could be a good spot. It's not, it's accessible. There were some signs that possibly it's occupied by other people, so that could be a problem. But has anyone seen a spot quite like this? Like. I don't know. I'm hoping I'm the only guy who knows about this, although the people who built it probably are going to call dibs, so it might be a battle. I'm, trying to stay hopeful that I won't have to find somewhere to live off the land in New York City, because there's not a lot of land, it's going to be a struggle. Oh, I don't know if you can tell, but I've gotten kind of depressed. I keep thinking I'm going to drink something, and then I do it while I'm talking, which is not the best thing to do unless you're an alcoholic, and you're just open and out about it, which is not the typical way. Usually it's anonymous. Some people aren't. And I respect that. And in fact, I'm addicted to something. And I don't know what it is exactly, but I think I am an addict because I've been doom scrolling a lot. I'm addicted to technology, to my phone, the internet. I do think a lot of it just comes from anxiety and probably low self-esteem, and then going back into anxiety. So it's a great feeling to talk about it. I do have something I want to dive into about elections, and I don't know if I don't see anyone. There's about 30 people watching it right now. Oh, I'm sorry, 30,000. Good God. I don't know. It seems like we've gotten to this point in our country where we have a pretty. We started out with this ideal that was really about innovation. It was, let's cut out the middleman in our government, which is the royalty. They're really not. What are they doing? We're over here. These colonists are over here. I mean, I say we. This is as a, I guess, classic white guy. But that opens a whole other can of worms. And we've had to innovate in terms of cutting the monarchy out of our government and out of our lives and saying, actually, we claim this country. Not great for the people that already lived here, the actual Native Americans, the American Indians, however you want to describe them or characterize them. But I I'm sure, I don't even have to be sure about it. We know it was a bad situation for them. So part of our innovations have been pretty way destructive. And yet it may be the only saving grace that we can go back and try to edit down, pare down, and or add on some protections, some rights, some dial some stuff back. And that is our saving grace, that we have a constitution that says, hey, and if this needs to be edited, log on to the Wikipedia page and, type in your recommended changes, and we'll see how the community approves it. It will probably be a better system in some ways if the Constitution were Wikipedia, but it might be a little too loose in terms of adjustments. I think that the wrong people could get a hold of it. Although I was getting into this argument, or actually it wasn't an argument. It was just a heated conversation with my wife. We weren't fighting, but I was harping on about how the Electoral College is just this horrible, racist institution that is anti-democratic. It doesn't trust the basic principles of one person, one vote, all that stuff. And that, in the end, it's almost impossible to change it at this point. That we've let it go too far to get them a number of people in the Congress to agree that we would actually eliminate the Electoral College. It's just not going to happen. Yo, what's up? I'm back. I don't know if anyone's here. What's going on here? Congress to agree that we would actually eliminate the Electoral College. All right, stream fell out. Stream is back. I don't know what happened. If we hopefully yo, I'm back. That was weird. I'm gonna find out what the heck that was, and because it happened yesterday. So some of this is just learning. But yo, who all are you guys here? Is everyone okay? Everyone's back. All right, we still have 75,000 people. Look, don't bounce. So I was talking about how it's unlikely we'll change the Electoral College, and it will be a much better situation if we could just, update laws and update our Constitution the same way that we update our iPhones when they say, would you like to download the next update? And we could say, oh no, I want to wait till tomorrow. I'm not ready for an update. I just feel like we're at the point with technology that the entire country could sign off on it. We don't have to wait for some congressperson to or these like representatives. Like we can all, there's billions and billions of people on the internet. Like we can track stuff. If you can track how many people like the next Ariana Grande video, we can track how many people approve of a constitutional amendment. I mean, the problem being, who has time to read these hundreds and hundreds of pages of legislation? I mean, I guess that's where the representational government makes sense, to have these people, it's their full-time job. But I don't know, with some of this stuff, it kind of seems like we could just revert it back to the people, and we could all just, confirm or delay the update on our phones. It just, yeah. And that led me to realize that elections are based on likes. I mean, that's ostensibly what votes are. Our whole Constitution is just likes, It's just a certain number of people got together and said, we all like this post, let's post it. And then they posted the Constitution. It was a long tweet. So I think, ostensibly a presidential election is just operated by who gets the most likes. But it's weird because it's like who gets the most likes from each state. Like no other thing that we do now is based on what state it comes from. I mean, I get it. The only way I would accept that as a counter argument is if certain states were full of bots. Like if New York really was not just, however many 20, 30 million people that are in New York State or whatever it is. Somebody correct me on that, but I know it's something like 20 million in the city. Like if say 8 million of those people were bots, then maybe New York shouldn't have as much representation. Maybe we shouldn't have as much weight from each whatever vote, electoral votes, and so forth. But like when it comes to some parts of the government in the U.S., like a tiny little state with a tiny population has so much more, 6 times the senatorial voting power than a big state. It just doesn't make sense. We're not bots. Like we're real people. We should have legitimate voting power. So anyway, we got to get, I don't know. We end up having to get a lot of likes from every state. That's what this is. It's a state focused liking engine. That's what elections are. So this is from our sponsor for episode 1, Harney and Sons Hot Cinnamon Spice Tea. That they're not really signed on yet as a sponsor, but we're working on it, and it is the tea that powers me, and the tea that I'm careful about. You don't want to drink it when it's piping hot, I gotta say, because the flavor enough will blow your taste buds out the back of your head. But if you get that plus the heat, just drink carefully, is all I'm saying. Anyway, okay. Oh, wow. Viewership jumped by 7,000 during that promo. Who would have thought that many people are into hot cinnamon tea? Let's move on to DEXAMETHASONE. DEXAMETHASONE is a steroid that our president took when he was diagnosed with COVID. He was apparently being hit pretty hard by it, but saying it's not that bad. And yet he took the steroid that is for when it's pretty bad. And it was a strange situation, the whole thing, like all the way around. Like there are people that are denying it, that he didn't get COVID, that it was, I mean, I don't think that kind of conspiracy hypothesis, we'll call it, is, it doesn't tempt me at all, like that he faked the COVID, because that would take a level of craft and strategy that I just don't see. I'm not convinced that it's more likely that it just not wearing the mask let the virus in. That's the classic way. I mean, I think a lot of people, you could rub your eye. It could definitely go in the eye. I'm definitely an eye guy. Like, I don't know about you. Sometimes when I get sick, I'm like 75% certain that it came from, at some point I tried to rub out an eye booger and was not wise. It wasn't a wise move. But some people get really heated about this mask stuff, and I gotta say, like, I've seen the studies, I've seen this, like, we could have, what's so sad about all this is that we could have crushed it in April, March even. If just, it's so, what's sad is how simple it was. It would just take somebody at the top, the president, saying everybody's got to wear a mask. And if we got 80% of the people wearing the mask, we could be doing like they're doing in Japan, where they have 0.76% of the deaths that we have. 0.76. That's a... And that's a country that has 40%, whatever, the equivalent of like 40% of our population. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm not a big math guy, but I like talking about percentages. It feels powerful. They've had like 1% of the cases that we've had. So as a culture, that's a big difference. It's just culturally they're fine wearing masks. In Japan, people wear masks. I'm sure there's a lot of anime heads out there. We all know about Japanese culture. Those of us who love anime, and we know that people wear masks. People wear masks. When I was in Tokyo, I saw a lot of masks, and it was curious to me the range of people, guys, girls, elderly, young. In New York, we have more of like a stereotype that it's like at least for me, the stereotype that I know of is that it's more of like an elderly Asian person, but that's not true, especially now. That's all complete flotsam. You can't rely on any of those stereotypes now. And even back then, that was not consistent. And in Japan, I was seeing these masks, and I asked my host, who was essentially my brother-in-law, and at the time, though, he wasn't. And what do you call that? Not a term for it, really. Just my girlfriend's brother. But my brother-in-law to be told me that these people wear masks for cosmetic reasons, like if they have acne. Like I have a zit on my nose. I'm not wearing it. I'm not wearing a mask to cover it because I don't even know if there's a lot of nose space here. I could do it. Like I'm not one of those guys that wears the mask with the nose peeking over it. My nose, it's big. I love my nose, but I'm not like, I know that people will notice it immediately if it's peeking over. So I also just know that it's not good science. I try to do a lot of my breathing through the nose. That's one of the classic ways. It's where the best filtration system is, So he told me that covering up acne, let's say a woman didn't have time to put on her makeup, she would wear a mask. And so you would see a lot of women wearing masks in on the subway in the morning in Tokyo at all times of the day, different time. Like it could be anything. It could be. I was told that it was often when somebody was sick, not necessarily to keep from getting other people's illness, but to contain your own illness. And that may be coming from a culture where there's like a sense of personal responsibility, shame, a sense of community, like you affect the people around you. You're part of a group. But I could be wrong. There's that was my eye-opening experience about it. And I was told that a lot of the time someone might say, "Oh, I'm wearing a mask because I'm sick," when really they have like a huge blemish, or a big zit or a makeup. Maybe they ran out of lipstick or something. I don't really know how makeup works, but I know you can run low on supplies, especially during a pandemic. So there was a situation recently where this woman really had quite a freak out about masks. Let's do a little react session here. I'm gonna have to. Oh wow, we only have a few minutes left. Let's just see what we can. Let's look at channel 2. Okay, here we are on React. Let's check this out. I don't know if you guys saw this one. This woman was not happy. She was not having a good day on the plane.
You risk your life. Everybody dies. You know that. Everybody dies.
Oh.
If it's corona or not, everybody dies. Everybody dies. That's the only thing that's real.
Oh wow. Oh, there she goes again.
You get life. Everybody dies. You know that. Everybody dies. If it's corona or not, everybody dies. Everybody dies. That's the only thing that's real.
Corona or not, everybody dies. Well, I'm not going to end on that note, but it is a rough way to exit a plane. You know, I think enough of us have some anxiety about plane travel as it is that, you know, walking out on a everybody dies note is, and reminding people about the corona and the cough, it just maybe I wonder. I just want to take a peek at who is it that she actually coughed on, because it was definitely, yeah, it was definitely this. Well, I can only see the tall guy. You know, that's a sad thing about vision, but yeah. I completely forgot to talk about dexamethasone. Oh yeah, the president was on it. There was definitely, see how I just touched my eye? I don't know if you guys noticed that, but I probably just, if I had corona on my hand, I just did it to myself. Like it's over. Now, dexamethasone is this drug that Trump preemptively took. I don't want to go into the president's, all his hijinks afterwards, but he made a number of strange gestures, you know, arriving back at the White House, taking the mask off and going inside, ostensibly threatening all of the employees who might not be properly protected in the White House, which I'm told are mostly black and Latino people who are, you know, just tiptoeing around trying not to get nailed by the virus. And yeah, that seemed off color. Him doing a lap around the White House when he was ill, with the Secret Service folks locked inside his SUV, him breathing, you know, in this enclosed space when he was at like the peak infection. That stuff, it definitely triggered a lot of people to think something's off with this guy. Like maybe he's way too confident that he's doing the right thing when he's putting other people in harm's way. And I found a list of side effects of dexamethasone because some people think he's still on it. What's the evidence? I mean, no one knows if he's still on it, but if he is and he's using it to power, because it kind of gives you extra energy. It could be the reason that we've been seeing stuff like this. I don't know if you guys saw this dance. Let's take a peek at this dance. This is Donald Trump dancing to the YMCA song. I'm not even going to play the music. I'm going to play one of my tracks. There you go. There you go. Okay, I think we've seen enough of that. Anyway, that we also have, well, we'll talk about this later, but maybe that's the way he's pretty much always danced. So I don't know if that's dexamethasone dancing there, but I wouldn't be surprised if it were. And the guy, here's our side effects. We got number one, aggression. We've seen that. I think we've seen some aggressiveness. It looks like he might have been on dexamethasone during the first debate. The dude was plowing over his fellow debater, over Joseph Biden. Now, what else do we have? Loss of sexual desire or ability. Okay, we don't. That's a hard one to gauge. We've got. Let's take a peek here. Menstrual irregularities, mood changes, fruit-like breath odor. Huh. Now, this thing came out when he was behaving loopy right after he got infected, that his son, Donald Jr., was concerned that his dad was office rocker, and he didn't want to be the only guy. Apparently, this is reported by the Vanity Fair reported. I don't remember the reporter there, but he told a source there that, or whatever, a source told Vanity Fair that he was vexed because he was afraid to voice his concern that Dad was getting a little bit loopy, a lot loopy. But he was also afraid not to say anything. But he didn't want to be the only dude to bring it up. And that I can definitely relate to. I mean, standing up and saying, to a guy who's a pretty authoritarian, aspiring leader. Oh, that's our clock. I'm going to have to wrap this up. Yeah, to stand up to that guy who's also your dad. I mean, we all know standing up to Dad is not, a thing that's easy to do ever since you're 17 or, whenever it is that you were trying to lose your virginity. I can definitely see him fearful of either not saying something or saying something and getting burned. So, yeah, it's a lot of, I think the fruit-like breath odor, I'll be very curious if he had that. That would maybe be one of the few things, that and his dancing, one of the few things that I would say makes him an interesting candidate for president. The last symptoms that and I'm just going to throw these out there because if you see them, please comment, please mention it. We had, let's see, full or round face, neck or trunk. Well, that's a tough one because definitely full round trunk. What's up? It's been a weird one. We had 2 dropouts. I don't know that there's something there. Like I think all that happened for a real reason. Like there was a there's something is like it's deciding I'm done at a particular time. That's my guess. But anyway, we were talking about the whether the president has a full or round face, neck, or trunk. I mean, trunk definitely full and round. These other symptoms of DEXAMETHASONE, these are side effects, I should say. Swelling of the fingers, hands, feet, or lower legs. That could be a bonus with the small hands if you could get them to swell up a little bit. But not good for rings, definitely for the ring fingers. Trouble thinking, speaking, or walking. Ooh, I don't know. He did just walk out of a interview apparently with Lesley Stahl for 60 minutes. So I'm not sure about that. Decrease in height. I'm seeing it. I don't know about you folks, but I hope not. I mean, that sucks because that seems like you can't really walk away from that. And trouble healing. That would be a bad side effect. So I'm guessing that he's off of that now. Oh, lastly, vomiting of material that looks like coffee grounds. So if you're working around Donald Trump, maybe if you're a staff, I know a lot of staff tune into the show. Keep an eye open. If he's puking up something that looks like coffee grounds, might still be on the decks, and in which case, look out, because he could also be very aggressive. That's a number 1 side effect. I'm going to have to bounce out of here. I don't know if we're going to get to all these topics. I was going to talk about whether this is a simulation or not, and I don't think tonight's the night to find out. It might be, I could flip a coin. It's just a 50-50 chance that we're living in a simulation. It would be strange to be doing this, in a simulation, but I've done a lot of things, that people would say, hey, why? I have, speaking of Donald Trump and simulations, apparently he had a pretty dramatic end to this interview with Lesley Stahl. And I found this video earlier that was from, I guess, him walking out of the interview. He said something to the effect like, I might play the interview before 60 Minutes does because I want to get out this thing before they try to destroy me in the mainstream media. But I don't know if we're going to want to see that based on this. I don't know if you guys noticed this. This is Trump apparently walking away from the meeting, and they're saying he did not smile at his supporters. Let's just take a peek at his. You can kind of hear the crowd back there. So I don't know if you hear that. It's a little noisy, but there's a swell from the crowd there, and he does not look happy after that interview. I mean, I wouldn't be either if I just had a battle with a veteran reporter who is a badass. I might cry too. I mean, he's not crying, but he just looks pretty glum. So I'm gonna just gauging that look. I'm gonna say the interview probably is unfavorable to him, at least in his eyes. I'm definitely curious to see it. And yeah, I think we got a lot in there. I wanted to talk about relationships, and I want to talk about brainwaves and transcranial stimulation devices, but we're gonna have to just hold that off to the next episode. There is something that, yeah, I guess I'll come back to that as well on another one. It has to do with our Constitution. That it's really the first sentence. I think there's some errors in it, and I want to do a little bit of correction on the first sentence of the U.S. Constitution. But it's not a good thing to do at the end of a pod/video cast. So let's I guess let's move it along here. I noticed this. I want to leave on a high note, and so I don't know if you saw this reports of this dude on a jetpack. Maybe it was a woman. There was a sighting of a jetpack outside of LAX, an airport near Los Angeles, and let's just take a peek here. If we can find, I have this jetpack thing queued up. Excuse me. Oh yeah. So apparently, this gentleman was found at a let's see here. Just going to hop into React mode. There we are. Oh, we were in React mode. I didn't realize that. Yeah, so here's the website. This is the New York Times article. I don't know if you guys were able to peep this. JETPACK sighted again above Los Angeles at 6,000 feet. That's high. That's a I don't know what the usual. I guess previously 2 pilots had seen a man spotted a guy in a jetpack at 3,000 feet. They're concerned that he's going to get into the flight path of a plane, a jet, and it's a busy airspace. You know, that's the main concern. So it was a China Airlines crew. Who knows? You know, this could be some kind of election interference. I mean, I don't really know what that, or it could be some way of battling with China and trying to assert our American dominance by flying jetpacks around the China Airlines. I could definitely see that being a, whoa, hey, okay, we get it. I get it. I was just leaving the airport, so don't cut me off in a jetpack. That is definitely American innovation, just rubbing it in China Airlines' face in one way. I mean, you can see it definitely, because that would, I would be pissed as a pilot to be shown up by some American dweeb in a jetpack. But let's take a peek at this website. You can pre-order the jetpack, which is kind of cool. And they also have a jet bike. It's like a sky bike. There's probably a name for it. Let's see if we can, because that looks pretty dope. I would definitely like to fly that thing around. I mean, I'm actually horribly afraid of heights. As a kid, I would think, yeah, of course I'm going to fly around in a flying motorcycle sky bike. But as an adult, I'm realizing I don't know if I'm built for this. you know, flying over. I mean, the water, it's kind of like, maybe I could convince myself to fly a sky bike over the water, because then if I fell, I'd just get impaled by coral or something. And here's a dude flying his sky bike, and then he's got essentially a sky U-Haul, which is pretty sweet. He's just taking it down to, well, that's the part where it's a little peculiar. He's showed up at the middle of a desert with something. Oh, he's got some looks like a first aid kit, which is cool, but there was no one there. So it kind of looks like he showed up in the middle of a desert with a first aid kit to apply a band-aid to himself, which is the kind of thing that I might do, because I get pretty embarrassed by band-aids. But let's put in our, I'm going to inquire now. We can order this. Oh, it's called the Speeder, the world's first flying motorcycle. They got 20 speeders. Some of them are going to the military, I believe, and a few of them they're going to, maybe we'll get one of them to send to Manhattan. So I'm going to inquire now. Oh, I've got to enter in all my information. Well, I'm not going to give you guys my information, but I would definitely say pre-order a speeder, you know. So please, if you enjoyed this, please subscribe to wherever you're seeing it. If you're seeing it on Facebook, if you're seeing it on YouTube, it's not really on Facebook. I know that you guys hate Facebook. That was a joke. But if you're seeing it on Facebook, actually, don't, you know, those people they're just, everyone's particular, you know. And if you're seeing it on Twitch, thank God, because I really don't know what the hell to do. I think eventually I'm just gonna have to pare it down to one place. But thank you for tuning in. If you do get one of these speeders, it's good to know that it's fully stabilized and fly-by-wire. Fly-by-wire, I don't know if that actually is a good thing, but they seem to think it is. So we'll hopefully see you out there. I'll see you out there on the Speedway, in the Skyway. And it's been a fun journey through my COVID-infected mind. I don't actually have COVID, and you don't get it in the brain, by the way. But this is KEVID19, episode 1, Beyond a Reasonable Bout. I do have one thing that I'm going to do a quick tease on, and then I'm going to bounce out of here. I have something that's going to launch actually quite soon. Oh, let's see. Can we see that? Oh yeah, I'm gonna go full screen here. So this is I made a boxing documentary years ago. This is the pitch tape that I made for it, and I'm actually pretty excited. Let me just. I'm excited to. I'm gonna roll it out and put some subtitles on it, and I'm looking at releasing the documentary. It's been a while, and it's a long story, so I'm not going to get all into it now, but it's a documentary about a team of inner city youth boxers from Chicago, and I follow them to the Junior Golden Gloves competition, and it's really about their lives. It was made in a cinema verite style. It's called Shadow of a Bout, so that's what the title Beyond a Reasonable Bout comes back to. And it's something that's very dear to my heart. And I've reached out to the boxers again. I'm trying to get them on the podcast. They're all grown up now. They're all adults. But here's a little taste of the pitch tape. I'm just going to play the first 30, 40 seconds of it. And then I'm going to bounce. So thanks for tuning in. Let's check this out here. All right. All right, I think that's enough of that. Stay posted. I'm gonna post the trailer, the full pitch tape. There's an actual trailer to the movie as well, and I've had a good time tonight. There's been definitely some technical difficulties. We could count them on one hand, and I'm grateful that you guys have been here. I'll be back. I'm going to be streaming every night at, I'm aiming for 8 p.m., but obviously it was late tonight. And I guess we got a debate on Thursday, so I'll probably will do it at 8 p.m. then. And until next time, thank you for tuning in. This has been KEVID19. You can find it at KEVID19.com or wherever you're watching it. I'll be back in that place. I am so grateful for all of you for tuning in. And hang in there.